See, this is a little intense. I'm almost nervous. Whew. Um, I just really like to start off with a thank you to my prior team, the Saints. Um, I would say my coaching staff and the trainers, my teammates. When I think back to that time and just the decisions to even be drafted there, um, a lot of my life really began there. I like to say that my family and shoot, some of the greatest memories I have are because of just the decisions that the coaches and the GM Mickey, all of them actually made. Without that, I wouldn't even be in this position today. And then this transition period, I like to thank the Vikings, Coach OConnor, just everybody there for showing such genuine interest and excitement. I think that's transferred over, and just from there, I'm excited to even be a part of this. Shiny forehead, though. Sonya.
Questions from Marcus? Alec, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Marcus. Welcome, first of all. Congrats. What was it about what you saw from Kevin O'Connell or heard from him just in meeting with him that stood out to you?
I want to say my favorite part just talking to them was their excitement. Just the energy that I got from them. I wouldn't say it's not many teams, but him in particular stood out as somebody that I feel I would love to go play for. Someone that I'd go out there and be able to put my all out there and know that he's right there along with us, fighting with us. So I want to say that stood out the most.
Matthew?
Hey, Marcus, welcome. Just wanted to ask you about your numbers from last year. You had still very good pressure rates, but the sack production wasn't at the same rate as it was in 2021. I guess when you look back at that, what kind of was the difference there? Is that kind of numbers not telling the whole story, or kind of how do you look at that?
Man, I look at it, I'm very critical, so I've been upset. I'm still upset. But, that's just fuel for the future. I kind of go over my play and see that I didn't capitalize. As much as I would say that, I had some success in matchups and were putting the pressures, like you said, I wasn't necessarily being the smartest player to know when to, capitalize and how to capitalize, using my teammates, using the scheme, and just overall winning. So this is one thing.
Hey, Marcus, welcome. Just curious as to what you've learned about Coach Flores so far, what you previously knew, and how you see maybe transitioning to a slightly different front possibly for you.
Well, I want to say, just going off of history, he has such a great pedigree. As far as the transition, I don't necessarily know. It's one of those things that we all, I've only been in the building one day, so we all still have to learn and kind of grow in that aspect. But, just from his attitude and just from, takes on the game, it's going to be exciting. It's, how would I say? I believe with my whole heart that this should be the best year. And just from there, I think we can do great things together.
Yeah, Marcus, along those lines, just what do you think about joining a group that's currently got Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith, and what are your understandings just about how you're going to fit into that group?
Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to fit yet, but, just looking at great players and seeing them, having seen them throughout the years, being drafted and, having comparisons, I know they're great players. And from that aspect, I just want to come in and be able to help and contribute and be a great player in my own right and, help us all out. I think together, just in general, I think we can all be a force.
Hey Marcus, did you have much familiarity with Minnesota aside from just playing against the Vikings before you came up to visit? And maybe what were your impressions? Because it's clearly an impressive facility and things like that. So I just wonder what you think of kind of, coming to Minnesota. It's a little bit different than maybe where you were in New Orleans culture-wise. Just how you feel about that.
So, matter of fact, in 2017, I had a former teammate from UTSA that went and played for Minnesota. And ever since then, I've been a fan. David Morgan. And then, he's only told me great things. So, I was excited to get up there. And then Harrison Phillips, that's my guy. So, when we played him and we lost, I'm still hurt. So you're going to have to give me some time to, let that go. But when we played him and lost, he only spoke so highly of Minnesota. And so just from that perspective, I'm ready.
How do you have the relationship with Harrison Phillips?
Oh, man, we trained out in Carlsbad, California at Exos. If anybody watching Exos, go there. But honestly, we just were able to spend a lot of time together and train. That was one guy that I was able to, gravitate towards and, really helped lift me up throughout my process.
Hey Marcus, welcome to Minnesota and to the team. Just wanted to ask you about Cam Jordan. Obviously, he kind of has a connection to Minnesota with his dad being a Vikings legend. So wondering if you've heard anything about just Minnesota and the Vikings from him, and also how he helped you develop your game.
Oh, man, every time we talk about Minnesota, he's talking about the cold. Yeah, that man is something else. But, he always claims it as home. So, I like that aspect of it. And as far as what I learned from Cam, what I learned from Cam was, and it's kind of weird, and I know most people don't necessarily think about this, but he does so many things behind the scenes. That is someone that I look up to, like I can look up to purely beyond everything else based off his work ethic. Like you would not know that he gets up and runs every morning miles and miles before he even works out. And you wouldn't see how much he does in the community. Like he will take his off days and go and just be a beacon. He's really one of those guys that you're like, you can look forward to and want to be like, and that you can follow. There's not many true leaders out there, but he's one of them.
Alec and then Jeff.
Yeah, Marcus, not to bring up this last game again, but you have matched up against Christian Darrisaw, I think, and Brian ONeal. I don't know. I mean, you face a lot of guys, but if you think about those guys, what stands out about those guys, just thinking about going up against those guys and how impressed you might have been?
I like to think that I play a physical style of football, and anybody who wants to be physical with me, which is not always a lot of people, you got respect, and a lot of offensive linemen, they have to earn the respect, or else, as Cam would say, they're road bumps. And me on the personal end, like I need to get better so I can make everybody road bumps. But, those are two guys that have definitely earned my respect. Brian, just seeing him, I want to say we're in the same draft class, so like I always like seeing him. But it's definitely going to be something, and having guys that, can play and that you can depend on, especially on the opposite side, and it's only going to make us better.
Hey, Marcus, I got two quick ones for you. What does it take, first of all, for a product out of Texas San Antonio to turn into a first-round pick? And what's it like to join a team that's coming off of winning a division title?
UTSA. Say that first. Dang, that's a hard one. I wouldn't say there's necessarily something that it takes. I was more just blessed. I was able to play the game for my teammates and for my coaches and just kind of love every second of it, even the tough parts of losing. But in a certain regard, that just taught me more of what I really wanted, that I wanted to be better. And as far as joining, at this point, I just hope that, the plan is to win the Super Bowl. So, last year's in the past. I gotta let certain things go even for myself. And, a lot of things don't matter, especially when we step on the field again. So, yeah.
Hey, Marcus, when Dean was wrapping up his session just before yours, he's like, where's Marcus? Like, I mean, it's like he's already connected with you. You've already connected with him. I guess, like, as incoming and wanting to give the defense maybe more of a push than an effectiveness than it had a year ago, and maybe even a couple of years now. How much do you take ownership of you guys joining forces and really trying to make some real strides?
Well, I know as a team, that's always the goal, to make the strides. And even from that, it's good to hear. And just, for me, I would always think that there's mutual respect. Because in the long term, or I forgot the word. But as someone that is sincere, I think when you see other people that go through what you go through, you kind of understand. And from there, there's just excitement, for us to be able to grow and, make the strides in all directions. And, even on the team that's already been there, I just know that I'm going to contribute and try to give all that I got.
We can close with Matthew.
Hey, Marcus, just wanted to follow up on you talking about being self-critical. I just wondered kind of what your process was for self-evaluation as you're, joining a new team and things like that. Is it kind of going back through tape or coaches or numbers, or like how do you kind of evaluate yourself to look for areas to improve?
So, of course, I've been able to listen to outside criticism, my own criticism. I do need to work on actually knowing what I did that was good, but that's beyond that part. Really, I just want to start from zero and, work with my coaches and from there develop. I know there's a lot of players that know I'll use a baseball reference, their fast pitch to switch up and then where they're going to go from there. And at that point, I need to know my game, and then I might have to study other people's games way better because I want to dominate. And so just from that aspect, just continue taking the next steps. As far as the past and, for all future references, I'm really trying to let go of everything and just keep walking forward, looking forward. So.
Well, you did a good press conference. Well done. You should know that.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Marcus. We'll see you in Minnesota soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.